Welcome to your life story, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story, it's about life. From relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique and you deserve the care and guidance that is right for you. Well, I'm excited today. I'm going to have a two-part because this is very important stuff. Okay? It is called Part 1. Love, Limerence, and the Lies We Learned. And today's episode is for anyone who has ever wondered why love felt confusing, why chemistry felt intoxicating, why intensity felt like connection, and why looking back, you realize you were never actually taught what love is. We were taught how to fall in love. We were taught how to be chosen. We were taught how to endure, but we were never taught how to feel safe. This episode isn't about blaming your parents. It isn't about shaming religion, culture, or romance. It's about clarity. Because once you have clarity, you stop betraying yourself in the name of love. This is part 1 of 2-part series called What We Were Never Taught About Love. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between real love, limerence, and trauma bonding, and the 7 real signs of healthy love that most of us were never shown. If you're here, it means something inside you already knows. Love was never meant to hurt like this. The problem: how love got distorted. Most of us were raised in systems that rewarded compliance, silence, and self-sacrifice. We learned that love meant being agreeable, being patient, being understanding, being forgiving, being quiet about our needs. And then we were handed movies, books, and stories where intensity was sold as intimacy. No one taught us how to recognize emotional safety. No one taught us how to identify power dynamics. No one taught us how to tell the difference between attraction and attachment wounds. So when love felt chaotic, we assumed it was our fault. But the truth is, we were never given the right education. So I think this is important because if you think about it, this is just, us talking. I don't know about you, but from the very beginning of life, us little girls are taught that we should always seek love, right? Seek love from our knight in shining armor because they're going to come and save us. We're going to have a house, the white picket fence, our kids. We don't have to work. All we have to do is cook and clean and talk with our girlfriends, and we're just going to have a happy life. The amount of girls I see in schools asking to be chosen, and I think it's more insidious now, maybe because now girls are thinking more like men. Because I've heard how many guys they go through in a week in order to find that one guy that they think will take him to being an awesome wife. I live in a location where wives are the most coveted because of the religious denomination here, where they're taught be as beautiful, pretty, and don't be ugly. You need to be gorgeous. You need to be there, and you need to have multiple talents, and you need to have a master's degree. But then once you graduate, you're just going to become a wife and have multiple kids. And your master's degree, you're never going to use. And then they wonder, I'm not going to judge on or analyze on everyone, but from what I've seen is, and then they want women not to be sad. But how are they not going to be sad? I see many of them at home and they're not being loved. Do you know how many of these little free libraries are around and they are chock full of romance books? And the amount of books that get taken by these moms just to feel a glimmer of love. But really, those love books are not love. They're just what? They're limerence. Romance, passion, things of excitement. And it hurts. It hurts me seeing people because they become very agreeable. They're patiently waiting for that one guy that's going to save them and have a big house. They don't have to work. They can just do whatever they want, except get loved. They have to be understanding, forgiving, and be quiet in their own needs. It's tough. I don't think that's something that is good. I don't think that they've been told that love is intensity instead of love being a responsibility and action, that they're going to do whatever they need to do to always keep that trust and keep you safe. And it just doesn't go by one gender. It goes with both. Because I believe that it's something that's reciprocal. And the reason why things don't work is because we get taught something that is not really there for us. And we need to do more work. I didn't think I needed more work until I went through what I went through. And now I've been putting in the work. And when I see it, it's so different. It is not what we were told by media and whatnot, music and stuff. It's totally different. So, what is the difference between love versus limerence versus trauma bonding? Real love. Real love is steady. It builds slowly. It's grounded in friendship, trust, and mutual respect. Let's hear that again. It's grounded in friendship, trust, and mutual respect. And I don't think a lot of people really love that love is built slowly. They want all the toys, the gifts, the whirlwind romance. How many times have we heard that? Have they ever really been our friend? Could you really trust them? Why is there so much jealousy? Why is there so much surveillance? The moment you lose trust, move away. And is there really mutual respect? I don't think the whole breaking up, coming back, breaking up, coming back is healthy. That's not even love. That becomes ownership and control. And that's not okay. Real love doesn't hijack your nervous system. It calms it. And the reason that it calms it, people think it's boring, right? We get such a big dopamine hit on having that intensity. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. And I heard it before with a therapist. Said, if you feel butterflies, you better go the opposite way because that's not real love. And I was like, how could that be? I love the butterfly feeling. No, it's not. It's just pure adrenaline, dopamine, whatever you want to call it. And you just need to move because it should be calming. You don't feel obsessed. You don't feel anxious. You don't feel like you're auditioning. You feel safe to be yourself. I don't know how many of you guys feel safe. I think you should feel safe like me. You know what? I like steak and potatoes. And I don't like salads. Unless it's kale. Kale is different. But put some steak in there. I don't like to pretend I'm somebody else just so I can be accepted. Be yourself. You like that? Do that. You like pizza? Do that. Hamburgers? Do that. Whatever it is, because I think the person needs to know who you are. And just because you're lonely, you shouldn't put it away and say, I'm just going to show my good parts because I don't want them to leave me. No, It's time that you started being there for yourself. Limerence. Limerence is not love. It's obsession mixed with fantasy. Do you know that I had no idea about this word limerence until my divorce? It was something so scary. I had no idea that narcissists love to do this. And to me, when I found out, I was mortified. And I was like, oh my goodness. Why? Because limerence is not love. It is an obsession mixed with fantasy. And I'm not saying everybody who does limerence is a narcissist. It's the way that society has told us that we need to mix what? Obsession with fantasy. And then that's where the control comes, right? And that's when we start thinking, oh, if I can make him change, I can make this better. I can make that fantasy that I've always wanted. And you know what? You're just going to end up slamming really quickly into a wall because it's not that. You know, it's when you fall in love with potential. How many times have we fallen in love with potential? Why don't you see the potential in yourself first before seeing potential in anybody? Potential means a maybe. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. We all know we're women. When we say maybe, it's really no. There is no potential in that person. Not a reality. It's when you replay conversations. When you idolize. When you feel euphoric one moment and devastated the next. Oh, the damsel in distress, right? That's what we were taught, right? Totally not okay. It is so toxic. Limerence feels magical because it's chemical, but chemistry is not a character. That one's brutal. Nobody should ever have to know that that's what you were going through, that it was just all chemical, you know? And that's why I said, if you get butterflies, it's become chemical, and that's why you feel that it's magical, that, oh my goodness, this is what it's going to be. All those books that we keep reading about stuff, and it makes us feel gushy and whatnot. The thing is, I am not poo-pooing you on wanting to learn and read whatever type of genre of book you want to, as long as you know the truth of what things are, so you don't fall into that. Because how many times do you have to get hurt and not understand what really is going on? I know, I'm one of those. I like to get to the root cause of the issue. And then once I figure that out, then I can move smoothly out of it. And for the longest time, I was always replaying it, redoing. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? Until I read this and I was like, oh my gosh. I need to do some healing. I need to do some work. The next one. This is really hard. Trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is not love. It's survival. It's created through cycles of affection and harm. So hot and cold. Right? Little bit, what they call it, breadcrumbing. Just, I can treat you horribly, but I'm going to give you these little breadcrumbs because, as soon as you get that little hug or, babe, I didn't mean this, a little kiss on the cheek, that I love you. Just words, right? It's love bombing and withdrawal, closeness and punishment. Your nervous system becomes addicted to relief, not connection. Trauma bonds feel intense because your body is trying to survive, not because the relationship is deep. You go through the biggest withdrawals once they're gone. Because you're used to that feeling. But I'm telling you, after years of being out of the trauma bonding, I guess you would call it sobriety, right? You see what it is for what it was. And I'm not here to shame you. Don't shame yourself. You were going off with what you were taught and what you knew. But now that you know, move forward. You're a lot more important than that. You deserve more respect, kindness. Love is so much different. And for my Christian people, go to the Bible. See what love means, the definition. Number 1, did he cherish you? It's crazy how when you start reading it and you see all the attributes about love, how they have none of it. You're going off of what society tells you that love is, and whatever they tell you is because it's a marketing thing. And I'm not here to be controversial or anything like that because everybody needs to make money. I get it. But I'm here because I want you to learn from it. So the 7 real signs of healthy love. Let's talk about what healthy love actually looks like. Number 1, consistency over intensity. 2, reciprocity. 3, emotional responsibility. Whoa, how many times have they had responsibility? Respect for autonomy. 5, emotional safety. Oh, you should be able to feel safe. 6, mature conflict. 7, growth, not control. And this goes both ways. You need to have control over what's going on in your life, but not controlling people. Don't control people. Because the moment you control, you take their free will away from them. Everybody should be able to choose. The Greek loves we were never taught. This is something I learned at my church. And I think it's important because the thing is once you learn about it, you think, oh my goodness, I was never taught this. But let's go into it. In Western culture, we were taught one kind of love, and that is eros. But healthy romantic relationships require more than attraction. So, eros, right? Oh my gosh. It's something that, like they said, it is just attraction. But healthy romantic relationships have these ones: philia, friendship; pragma, commitment over time; philatia, self-love. How many times have you loved yourself? Instead of finding love, and I'm not saying you can't find love yourself first. And then you can decide who you want in your life and who can share that love with. Agape, compassion without control. When these are missing, relationships collapse. Go into it further. Get into your dictionaries or your phones. Go ahead and check those out. Eros, philia, pragma, philatia. All those start with P. And agape. You learn a lot more. So, homework. Yes, I love to give you homework. Here's your 5 homework questions. Write what you learned about love growing up. 2, identify past relationships driven by limerence or trauma bonding. 3, define philia, pragma, philatia, and agape in your own words. I invite you to do that. It is beautiful. 4, notice how your body reacts to intensity versus consistency. Some people think that consistency is boring, but guess what? That one's going to last you. And I'm not saying bored because you don't match. I'm saying you will feel safe and loved. 5, ask, did I feel safe or activated? It's very important. Let's move into our 5-minute meditation. Close your eyes. Place a hand over your heart. Breathe in clarity. Breathe out confusion. Repeat silently to yourself. I release false definitions of love. I choose clarity. I choose safety. You're very important. Know that you're allowed to be loved, cherished, respected, honored, cared for. You're also allowed to reciprocate the same to your partner. It's time that we start today going on to the new year of 2026, finding clarity out of that confusion and knowing that you're going to find love, even if that means finding love for yourself first. That will help you see what is best in life. Find someone who sees you, who's excited to see your beautiful face, is there to root you on, who's there through thick and thin. Someone who celebrates you, cries along with you. or plays games with you, where you can laugh, go ahead, have a dance off. Have friends and learn to debate well, where they don't get hurt and you guys can come to a mutual understanding. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. In part 2, we'll talk about how to identify safe love from day 1 and how to become a safe person to yourself. You were never broken. You were never too much. You were never unlovable. You were simply never taught, and now you are. And that will be my next podcast next Sunday. I hope you will join me because I think it's important that we all find love. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Your Life Story with Jean. I hope it gave you something to think about and feel. Explore on your own journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share it with someone who might need it or reach out to connect. I think this is really important. Once we can start going to the root cause of what we really want in life, let's start honoring ourselves, loving ourselves, and then seeing the green flags that we need to see so we can accept that love. I know for so many of you, and like me, it's been a while. But for me, I've been learning to love myself, and I love it. And now I explore how and if I want to allow someone in my life, I'm going to do it the right way. Yeah, we make mistakes, but we learn from them. But hopefully, we don't fall as hard as the other times. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. This is Sajine with Your Life Story.